Some rules are made to be broken, but a Kansas lawmaker may make your kids think twice. A proposed bill would give parents the right to spank kids hard enough to leave red marks and bruises. But child abuse experts say time out, calling spanking and the recommended 10 strikes of the hand archaic and doing more harm than good.
I'm going to say if the laws today were laws when I was a kid, my mama would have been arrested and she'd still be in prison right now.
Serving 3 life terms.
We have to be clear.
We used to get spanked.
We have to be clear here, by the way. Spanking is also a cultural thing. There's some people in the country who believe that spanking is their right, it's their kids, it's their right, and so not everyone's going to agree with this.
Did you get spanked?
I had a paddle.
Were you spanked?
My grandfather right next to you.
But here's the thing. This is what this law is really actually designed to protect kids, because it defines what spanking is and what it isn't, mainly what it isn't. Because, you know, you're at the grocery store, parent goes off and, you know, whacks the child in the back of the head, you know, because he's misbehaving, and you're like, well, is that abuse? Is it not?
That comes across to me as abuse, right?
Exactly.
So according to this law, that would be
right. The parent.
abuse.
This basically defines what the parent can do, and more importantly, what they cannot do.
In my household, my wife and I made a rule, and both of us were spanked as kids. Our rule is there is no hands on our kids, and no one else can lay hands on our kids. And that's just how our thing is.
And I think that's...
Now, that doesn't mean sometimes I'm like, if I could just... But,
you gotta tie your hands.
Yeah, the rule is, that's what
I think one thing this law is really going to do...
As a pediatrician, isn't that where things are moving when you talk to parents? I mean, it seems to me that that's where we're moving. So the question then becomes... It becomes like it's more unusual now for spanking to take place, right?
It's
Where?
You know,
it's like the minute someone
parents
uses the word spanking, they're like, put the parent in jail.
Yeah, less and less parents are using spanking as
they're
discipline.
doing it more at home.
And what I think this law is going to at least make parents think, because hitting a child should never happen in the spur of the moment in anger. Study after study after study has shown that kids that are spanked, it fixes their behavior in the short term, but it usually increases misbehaviors later.
It explains a lot.
And I think the one thing we would all agree upon is, at the end of the day, the most important thing is that parents love their children. And if a parent does spank, that it's done in a way that is not truly meant to be harmful.
Injurious, yes.
And injurious. And I think that's what's important with any law that's put into the books.